Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to tell you how a Social Security disability benefit is calculated. And when we're finished here, you won't have to just take the word of the Social Security Administration. You'll know how to do this calculation for yourself so you can double check their numbers and be certain that your estimate is correct. And this video isn't just for those who are disabled either. I think that anyone's plan for retirement should include a piece for the unexpected what-ifs of life. So this video is really for anyone who is planning for retirement and wants to understand how a disability benefit is calculated so you could plan your future, whatever it may hold. But real quick, before we get to all of that, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell. I've already said this several times if you've watched my other videos, but I strongly believe the next few years are going to hold more changes for Social Security than the program has seen since it was first created. And as those changes start to work through the system, I'll be right here helping you break them down so you can get every dime and benefits that you deserve. So if you're ever faced with a career-ending disability, whether it was a disability that built up over time and just progressively got worse, or a disability that had a sudden onset, you may need to consider filing for disability benefits. Now, I know this probably wasn't part of the plan that you have laid out in your mind for retirement. It rarely is the most desired outcome, at least for the individuals that I've worked with. But disabilities do happen, and as we age, the likelihood of a disability increases. So understanding how your eventual Social Security benefit may change if you begin receiving a disability benefit instead of a retirement benefit, I think is critical to a well thought out retirement plan. These two benefit amounts are often different, and if you want an estimate for either disability or retirement benefits, you can't just use the official SSA benefits estimate alone because there are projections built into that estimate your future earnings. And if the ability to earn those future earnings go away due to a disability, you need to know how that could change things and what you might be able to expect in monthly payments. To understand what you should project for a disability benefit requires at least a basic understanding of the calculation method used to project your retirement benefit. The calculation process is very similar, but there are some differences that matter. First, let's hit the high points of the process used to calculate retirement benefits. And I don't want to cover a lot of details here, but I do have a video that covers this step by step, and if you haven't watched it yet, I'd highly recommend that you check that out. I'll link it up in the description where you can find it pretty easily. The important points to know for a retirement benefit is that the Social Security Administration calculates your retirement benefit by inflating all of your historical earnings through age 59 to have them expressed in today's dollars. Now, they also use the earnings at 60 and beyond, but they just don't add any inflation to those earnings. Now, after they've inflated your historical earnings, they take out the highest 35 years. They call these your computation years, which for retirement benefits is always your highest 35 years. If you don't have 35 years of earnings, they'll use the number of years that you do have and then use how many ever years of zeros it takes to get the total up to 35. Then they add up the inflated earnings from those 35 years and they divide the sum by the number of months in 35 years, which is 420. Now what this does is it takes your historical earnings, puts them into today's dollars, and then it determines the average amount of monthly earnings that you had during your career. They refer to this as your averaged index monthly earnings, or AIM for short. And once your averaged monthly earnings are determined, the calculation applies that average to the Social Security benefits formula that's in place the year you attain age 62. Now, I don't want to get into the fine details of the formula here. Again, I made a video that covers this. It's called How Social Security Retirement Benefits Are Calculated in 3 Easy Steps. And again, we go over that in fine detail. But once your earnings go through that formula, the result is your full retirement age benefit amount. And then the very last step in the retirement benefit calculation process is reducing this benefit if you file early or increasing this benefit if you file after full retirement age. So those are the steps in calculating a retirement benefit. You may already be looking at this and have spotted a few issues with how this process may not be a fair method of calculating a disability benefit. If you're like a lot of my viewers, you've probably already been wondering things like, does the calculation process for disability benefits penalize individuals who never had the opportunity to work for 35 years? What if you become disabled before you turn 62? What formula is used then? And then are disability benefits reduced if you have to file for them before your full retirement age? Well, thankfully, the Social Security Administration does recognize these issues, and they don't use the same exact calculation to determine the amount of disability benefits you can receive as they do when they're looking at retirement benefits. When calculating your disability benefits, the administration first determines how many years should be used in your calculation. Now, unlike the retirement benefits calculation where they always use 35 years, they don't always use 35 computation years to determine your historical earnings for purposes of disability benefits. If they did, this would penalize workers who became disabled before they were able to work for 35 years. Instead, they take the number of years from the calendar year you turn 22 through the year you become disabled. Then they subtract 1 year for every 5 years of work. This is known as the 1 for 5 rule. And what's left from that is the number of computation years that'll be used in your calculation. Now, I know that was a lot, so let me give you a few examples that will help simplify this. Let's say that you have 5 years of earnings from 22 through 26. Now, if you have 5 years, you're going to subtract 1 year, which means that your disability benefit calculation would use a total of 4 computation years to determine your averaged index monthly earnings. Or if you have 10 years of earnings after you turn 21 and you become disabled at, say, 31, you've got those 10 years of work, so you'd be able to subtract 2 of the lowest earning years and thus have 8 computation years to use in the calculation. Now, one important note here, in no case can the number of years used in the calculation exceed 35. It can be less than 35, though, for disability benefits. Also, there are some additional child care dropout rules that allow you to drop out some of the years where you were taking care of a child. And I will say that the eligibility for child care dropout rules is very specific, and that's probably best reserved for a conversation between you and your Social Security disability attorney. Now, once the Social Security Administration determines the number of years to use in your calculation, the formula does start to look a lot like the formula for retirement benefits. The Social Security Administration takes the highest earnings from all of your work history and indexes them for wage inflation that occurred during your working years. Once they have your earnings indexed, then they take the highest of your specific computation years, how many every years that is for you, whether that's 8, 10, 12, 15 years, and that's what they add up and run in the formula. For example, if you became disabled at 43 years old, you'd have a total of 22 years to use. Using the 1 for 5 rule, 4 years would be dropped, and they would take the 18 highest index earnings to use in the calculation. Then they would sum them up and divide by the number of months in those years. For example, for an individual who had those 18 years of indexed earnings, they would divide by 216. The result would be the averaged index monthly earnings, or AIM. And once your AIM is determined, that figure is calculated through the benefits formula in place the year you become disabled, not the year you turn 62, as it is for retirement benefits. That's one of the other key differences between those two calculations. So let's see if we can summarize all of these differences onto one page. Retirement benefits will always use 35 years of earnings. Disability benefits will use the number of years from the year you turn 22 through the year you become disabled. Then they subtract 1 year for every 5 years of work. Retirement benefits will be calculated with the formula in place the year you attain age 62. Disability benefits will be calculated with the formula in place the year you become disabled. Retirement benefits are reduced or increased based on filing age. Disability benefits are not reduced or increased based on filing age. The result of the disability benefits formula is what you'll receive in monthly benefits. Now, this is how Social Security disability benefits are calculated, but there are some really strict eligibility requirements to receive these benefits. I would strongly encourage you to use the guidance of an attorney who specializes in this area. And if you want to learn more, there is one on YouTube that I like a lot. His name is Jonathan Ginsberg, and his entire channel is devoted to Social Security disability. Now, I don't have any kind of affiliate deal with him where he's paying me to send people to him or his channel, but I just think he puts some solid information out there. And if you want to learn more, that's the first spot where I would stop. I'll put a link in the description where you can find him and subscribe to his channel. So I hope this video helps to bring some clarity in the differences between how the two different benefits are calculated. And there's just one last thing before we go. If you want to understand more about Social Security, you should get your free copy of my cheat sheet. This is where I've taken some of the most important rules and numbers from the Social Security website, and I've condensed it down to just one page. There's a link in the description where you can get yours. But if you're ready to move beyond a one-sheeter and you want a more thorough explanation of the basics, you should check out my course. Whether you're a soon-to-be retiree who wants to make sure they receive all the benefits that they've earned, or a detail-oriented planner who wants to double-check their knowledge about how Social Security works, or maybe you're a divorced spouse who wants to make sure that you understand the benefits you're going to be able to receive, this course will give you the answers you've been looking for and the support you need on your journey to an awesome retirement. There's a link in the description where you can read more and get instant access to that course. Thanks for watching.